Hey, what's up, guys? So this weekend, I wanted to finally make that video. I was telling myself I'll do it last weekend, but wanted to give just general thoughts on the market, um, economy, business, sales, making money, everything in this time. I've been under the weather slightly a little bit over the last 2 weeks, so it got some time to think. So, a little hack whenever you're forced to be in bed, spend some time thinking. That's what happens. But um, getting into some of the thoughts that I have about the market right now is that, so first of all, let's start here. Am I buying anything? Answer is no, right? The last time I bought something was few months ago, or at least that's what it feels like. I might have to check my channel, but I was accumulating a little bit of some of the coins that are mentioned by guys like Male, um, and such as Say. I was trying to do some stuff with Aleo, um, setting up a node and things like that, and but kind of put a stop on all of that stuff because I'm not really a farmer. I don't do a lot of things with airdrops and catching coins that are going to be given to you. And not saying that's not a bad, like good strategy. It's just not my strategy. I rather just buy it, right? I rather just invest in it. I rather just find out what are the coins, what are the ones that can do, have a huge run, and then accumulate them, right? So I was getting into a little bit on the farming side because the ones that I thought are interesting, and are being mentioned by the people I follow, most of them are not available right now in the market to buy, or you have to buy them. You have to go through a lot of hoops, right? Set up nodes, set up all this kind of stuff, and servers and whatnot. Be a little bit technical. Basically, I have to give my time, right? Which I don't really want to do because I don't have a lot of time. Even though currently I'm not doing a lot, the way I think through my entire thing is I'm very cognizant of how I spend my time. Otherwise, you can just have a mindset that just starts to wander all around and you lose all scope of everything, basically, right? It's not like you can waste time in one thing and then be efficient in your business. If you start wasting time in something else, you'll probably start wasting time in your business too, and then doing stuff you're not supposed to instead of hiring people, blah blah blah. It's just like a whole mindset thing. Not going in a rant. Point is, it's my personal reason I came to find that I'm not going to be going down the route of farming, which is what it seems like currently if you are going to be in the market and to get good runs without having a lot of risk. The best way is just have basically almost no risk, right? You're just spending your time to do some digging, learning, finding out, participating in the ecosystems, and then getting rewarded for it. Not my style of things. Okay, so what am I waiting for then? Well, the short answer would be the Penguin Man. Penguin Man says, yes, all things abide by that. He rules. He mentions how the sun rises, how the sun falls. That's how much I have respect for the Penguin Man. And Penguin Man currently is not bullish, as you can clearly see if you look at his, what he's saying and stuff, right? And he hasn't been bullish for some time now. And how many times do I have to get wrecked before I realize to have patience, right? It's like, it seems like the answer is multiple times in a single bear market, right? That's what the answer seems to be. And I don't want to be that person. So I had to like kind of take a step back and be like, all right, like you can keep losing all the money you make and just keep going back to close to zero. And it's like how many, like I counted by like how many times do I have to count, like how many months do I have left, right? That's how I measure it, right? The number of times I have to go down and actually think like, all right, I got like 3 months left with this current money that I have. In 3 months, if I don't figure something out, then I'm gonna be basically like in trouble, like can't make rent or something like that, right? If you're having that multiple times in a bear market, that is not good. That is not good. That is not like you should be. I'm not saying I'm like on a dire situation within weeks I'm gonna be like in the streets or something, right? But what I am saying is that like it has happened like 3 times already in a single bear market where I'm like, all right, okay, Shib, like, how many months of this was to happen have happened, right? If if I didn't have my agency that just has a constant stream of money coming in, that just puts a layer, like a blanket of comfort over all my fuck ups, oh man, like it would have been really bad, especially because I'm not somebody who has consistency, right? Outside, like out of all the fundamental skill sets you can put down as that you need to be have a decent level of success, right? Whatever you want to call that, making 6 figures a year or 1 million a year, whatever, like in that kind of range, couple $100,000 a year, like sales, being able to manage some people to some degree, stuff like that, consistency, not having like the need to have instant gratification, like even the fundamental layers. I think my weakest is consistency, partly because I have some personal issues with health and stuff. I never had any period of time where I have like month after month after month where I'm just like showing up and working and good. It's either like 14-hour days and absolutely demon mode, like no weekends, no sleep, shut off phone, no talk to family, and just deep mode. And then followed by weeks on end where I'm like barely able to get out of bed. This is pretty much like how I function, right? So what happens when you have these cycles, and I already gave a warning at the beginning of this video that it's gonna be like ranty, right? This is overall market, personal life, business, like rant, right? Anyways, going back to it, like when you go through these cycles, right? I'm in my 30s now. I'm no longer like a young, energetic kid, so to speak, right? You get to see some patterns in yourself and patterns overall, right? It's not like I'm new to America anymore, right? It's been a decade I'm in this place. And I get to see how certain things work, right? Starting with myself, how I'm not consistent. So, what kind of models of opportunities to make money can open up to me, right? Usually things that will have consistency, etc. Or like for like an agency, for example, not a really good business model, right? If you stack up currently what's available, it's actually scores very poorly. But at least like if you work hard for a certain period of time, it carries you for a long time, because on average clients tend to stay like a year or so, on average, roughly, give or take. And what happens is that then you can mess up a lot and fuck up a lot of shit and not have to work for a lot of time in between, and you still have that income coming in until you feel like the overall trajectory is dipping, and then it's time you got to kind of like work in and put the work in and get up, right? How does this relate to crypto? Because you'll see, maybe the lesson you can take from this rant is the types of ways you can maneuver through crypto, because there's many ways to make money in crypto, right? Bear market, bull market. Obviously in bull market everything is like basically forgiven, right? It's just like it's like kind of almost like hard to lose in a way. But if you can master to some degree, right? I think the answer to that in the bear market would be like, if you can somehow make it through a bear market where you stopped losing money, right? Instead of making money, but you just found a way to stay in the market and stopped losing money. And by staying in the market, meaning like you have some form of a pulse. What's kind of going on? You're not completely checked out, because that's how you, I guess, completely in the end lose, right? That's why it's hard. How do you stay checked in, keep some kind of pulse, whether that be weekly? For me right now, it became monthly, right? I can't even do it weekly, because if I do it weekly, I'm gonna buy shit. I just know that about myself. And that's what I was gonna get into, is that once you can figure out how you are as your own operating system, right? Your levels of patience, greed, lack of ability to withhold and not jump in and not FOMO and all those kind of things, as you can learn your patterns. Then when you learn about crypto and you combine them together, right? Farming. Do you like that stuff? Are you ever told that you are smart? Like point blank. Sounds silly, but like, is that your strength? Have you ever figured out anything ahead of the curve? Right? Have you, when you're small, between your groups of friends, usually it's in threes, usually most of the time you have like two other friends that are really, really close, were you the one that's known to be the one that just figures out the edge, whether it be getting out of trouble or figuring something out, or not getting caught with like little kids, whatever they do, whatever it is, were you that kid? Because that really can come down to how you can find out what might be your model in crypto. Right? If you're that kid, you see guys like Res, right? You see guys like Pabloshi, right? Maybe these guys I haven't mentioned as much. Even Male. I mean, Male is like probably the best example. I mean, look at the type of calls they made and try to find out, where in my life have I ever known somebody to be remotely like that? And most of us probably won't know, right? I don't really remember any of my friends being smart in that way. My close friends, I think almost ironically would not be smart, because they would have to be, the average would be lower, so they wouldn't be that smart to start off with. But I'm saying, even in the general people I would know, there's nobody like that in my friend circle I would know growing up. What does that mean? It's not the El Now be all, it's not the curse, but the point I'm trying to say is, they are very smart people. Very smart. Right? It's not like sales or starting a small business where it's like, you work hard, you get it, right? I fundamentally like believe that if you work hard in America, even in this economy, right? I'll talk about the economy in a second, and things are tough right now, but even in this economy, if you work hard, I believe anybody can make it. By make it, I mean have a decent level of success where you're making $100,000 to a couple $100,000 a year, and you don't need much intelligence at all. You're just purely working hard, right? You can do the dials, you can do the sales, or you can do some form of work where there's enough leverage that you can make good income without having any intelligence. In crypto, you got to understand that some of those things are not applicable to us. And I know, like, if I barely get views on this shit, right? But this is gonna sound like so bad, right? It's like I'm basically saying that a lot of us is not good enough. And it's just a fact, man. Like, this is exactly how I think of it. Certain models in crypto is just the requirement is too high in intelligence. I guess the bar none, the best example ever would be Beanie. Look at that guy's calls. Just study him as a specimen, right? Go back in time. I think his his Twitter's probably still active, right? He left because everybody got shamed him and stuff like that. And is he a shady character? Probably. Overall, where there's smoke, there's fire. So many people hate him, right? There's so many people that say that they scammed him and stuff like that. All that kind of stuff. So, am I saying he's a savant? No. Am I saying he's a saint? No. But am I saying he's an intelligent motherfucker? Hell yes. And you're an idiot if you disagree. Unless you have made $50 million in the last bull market making straight calls. Not even oh, I got in early. Not even like that. He made it happen. He made the calls during the market, in the bull run, in the middle of the run. Middle of the fucking run. Made shit happen. Came up with Wolf Game. Came up with I forget the name of the other NFT one, right? He made those moves. And then while he's building and being a team member within those communities, actually playing a role to make them happen, he's making bets alongside it and then getting them right. His hit rate was fucking insane. You gotta take a step back, especially after losing money multiple times in the same bear market, and be like, what are these guys made of? Like, just take a moment and think, like, okay, how do they operate? What kind of human beings are they? What are they made of? And really, you'd come down to the fact that they're just one of a kind. That's why we follow them. That's why, hence, the channel's name is Shoulders of Giants. Right? I'm not saying I'm the great one. I'm saying I'm standing on the shoulder of people that have paved the way in the past, and they have the track record to back it, and I'd like to follow them. And I still get wrecked. My point on this entire rant for the last, wow, 15 minutes already, is that know yourself. Take the time. Have patience. This is what I'm saying to myself, basically, right? Take it, breathe. I'm not gonna miss out on a shit. Already lost my money like multiple times. Breathe. Take a look back. What really happened in the bull run? Study it like history, right? The greatest people in any of their craft, they study history, right? Biggest investors, Warren Buffett, whatever you call it, Jimmy Buffett, they all study history, right? Why don't we study the last freaking bull market then? Who are the great ones? Things happen so fast in crypto. We just think it's like, oh no, okay, when's the next one? When's the next one? Oh my God, when's the next bull run? We're just like hyping for it. We're probably gonna miss it. Probably gonna miss it. Did you catch the last two runs? It were mini runs, but did we catch anything? Did you have a lot of gains from it? Well, if you didn't, then you might miss the next bull run too. You might miss the next bull run too. So what I'm saying is breathe, take a step back, understand how these guys are made. And if you're not like that, it's unlikely you're like that. They are one of a kind by definition, right? Unless you made $50 million in the middle of the bull market, making calls after calls after calls and getting them right, you are not that person. Probably not. So what can we do? There's really like a couple ways to go about it only, right? And we just have to make sure that whatever avenue the life takes, we should be fine in each of those probable avenues. Let me break it down. I talked about farming and stuff, okay? Being ahead of the curve fundamentally and being the one who can go deep research. Not my thing. Just checked out myself. I concluded, do not have the intelligence. Very happy, no shame given to myself. Very happy knowing it, and at least I know it. At least I know it. Took me a while to know it, but at least I know it. Great. Crossed off. Shibga, you will never try again to figure out protocols and try to yourself be ahead of the curve. You don't have it. Great. What is next? All right. The other ones are, well, if you look at on the opposite side, what is the least riskiest thing? Least riskiest is the simplest. Just buy Bitcoin. Just buy Bitcoin. That's the least riskiest thing to have part in the market. Now, obviously, we have to overcomplicate it a little bit, right? Because that's what we do. And we're going to have to find, like, all right, if we do just Bitcoin, then we're looking at maybe a 1.5 to 2x, right? Conservatively, right? Given we just go back to the highs of last cycle, given with the current conditions, there's a good amount of people that are thinking, like very smart people that are thinking that we won't have a new all-time high. Penguin Man, Ben, Arthur Hayes, I can name names. Take it seriously. There's no savior, guys. There's no guaranteed savior. Oh, if I just buy this and accumulate enough, surely I will get my 10x. No, there is no such thing. So Bitcoin, I would say in the next cycle, 2025, 2026, in that time frame, somewhere between there, whatever, you can say you get a 2x, right? If your cost base is around $30,000, $25,000, you can comfortably say you will get a 2x. Now, I'll take a moment and say, guys, like in crypto, even during a bear market, we are so desensitized to doubling your money. It's like fuck. Then why the fuck am I even in here? Like it's like inside my mind, there's like a guy who's super pissed, right? If it's a 2x, why are you even counting that, right? But you have to take a moment and realize that in the rest of the world, 2x is still good, right? I mean, look at the alternative. You can keep losing your money until you're asking yourself a few times, oh, how much time do I have left? Or would you rather just accumulate slowly and get a 2x? I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do. I'm just saying that there is a path, a certain group of people who will do that, and they are justified to do so. Completely fine. All right. And another layer I'll add to that is probably your cash flow. Right? If you're a phenomenal entrepreneur, right, making like $1 million per month or something crazy like that, like your exposure to Bitcoin, to crypto could be just Bitcoin. Because if you're putting in 100K per month in that thing, and then that gets a 2x, and your business is bringing the rest, you don't have the mental time to follow fuckers on Twitter on what's the next altcoin. You can just focus on your business and get that from $1 million a month to $2 million a month, right? Like Alex Becker is a good example. I don't know why that fucker goes in so high in the risk curve. He's a very smart guy, but he is extremely determined, right, to get high returns and crush it in business. Again, very, like, not many guys like him in the world, right? He's a specimen of human species, like an example of how much you can push your willpower to do things. Being a normal guy, Alex Becker used to be a normal ass guy, right? Just went to school, did college, used to drink like a normal dude. Yeah, like he's not some fucking Elon Musk born to be, great or something like that. He became great. He became that, Anyways, not gonna Alex Becker rant. I'll probably do a video about it one time because he's known in crypto, but I know Alex Becker from way before crypto, right? I was in his group when he was building Hyros in the early stages. I knew Alex Becker before Hyros when he was working on things like all the way back to like when he was doing a supplement company, and he had like building a competitor to Fiverr with Conquer and stuff. I was in his group then too. I bought his courses back then. I was in his marketing group, in his bought multiple courses, in his webinars. I was following Alex Becker even through SourceWave. He deleted that YouTube channel. He was one of the first channels who made in YouTube who made videos for SEO, and he is responsible for blowing up a huge sector of the economy and giving birth to a lot of entrepreneurs, small entrepreneurs like me, like many other guys who make couple $100,000 to couple $1 million a year. He had a channel that was like almost 100,000 subscribers in SourceWave back in like 2018, 2017. Anyways, I said I'm not gonna rant with him, but I'm going back. But the point I'm saying is, he knows himself very well, right? He knows what he can do in entrepreneurship, right? Built a fucking $100 million company in 3 years flat, right? Average net gain in income of 3 million plus per month if you average it out until their, article about whatever, like they got bought out by Banza or whatever. But my point is, he's one of a kind who does that, right? Most people in his place, I mean, it's not like I know a lot of people in his place of who makes that level of money. I know a few, like Alex Hormozi and stuff like that. And look at him. They go in it's like phenomenal entrepreneur, low risk curve on the risk. They're fine with it. They don't need to fucking go altcoin shopping and gamble on crazy coins. They make a lot of money, millions of dollars per month. Bitcoin is just fine for them. All right. So if you go down on those notches, right? Not great entrepreneur or whatever, your money that you're making, and I guess it's subjective to what you feel like you should deserve to get, and that's like completely in the woo-woo land of like what you think is good or whatever, right? But given, I'll just use metrics of like 100K, $1 million, $10 million a year, stuff like that. Like if you're making six figures or around there, like I'm in the 100K to a couple $100,000 per year range, then you can kind of ask yourself like, okay, I'm not going to do the lowest risk. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the highest risk stuff. Highest risk is, because I think it needs to be defined, because I know some people in fucking crypto has no limit to the degeneracy, like fucking doing whatever these like roll Bitcoin and stuff like that, where every second it goes up and down and you can lose it. Like I never even tried that stuff. I tried it to even opt in and try to play it. I didn't even figure it out how to play it, right? So that's how much little patience I have or motivation to do those things. But to define what I consider very high risk is that pretty much your entire crypto portfolio is designed like a multi-coin capital venture capitalist. If you look at Multicoin Capital and they ask him like, why don't you have ETH? They're like, it's a $200 billion asset. If you have this in your balance sheet, you're pretty much not gonna get any upside. It's like, dude, it did a fucking 50x. Like, I understand you caught Solana and you are the shit. Bow down to you. I understand you're the shit. But it did a 50x. You're saying that's nothing. He literally said that in an interview. It's a $200 billion asset. If you have that in a balance sheet, you're giving up all the upside. It did a fucking 50x. Give me a break. Hey, would you be okay? Whatever money you have in your bank account, if it did a 50x, would you be okay? If you answer not, you have other problems. You should figure out how to get a better paying job or to sell something better or whatever, make more money, right? Even if you have $10,000 in your bank, if it did a 50x, that's a lot of money, right? So my point is, that's what I think is high risk. Multicoin Capital portfolio is high risk, meaning you don't have Bitcoin, don't have ETH, any of that stuff. It's all high risk stuff. Everything's like you're spread into the coins, only coins that you believe can do like 30, 50, 100x, multiple 100x's. And you're just betting like a couple of these horses is gonna fuck shit up. Rest of it could go to zero and I don't give a shit. That's how it is. That's how I played most of the time in the past until the bear market humbled the fuck out of me, right? I mean, not too long ago, even on the channel, I came back, I'm like, I'm done with Bitcoin. Fuck this shit. Barely does anything every run. At that point, if you remember, we kept on having these mini runs within as we were going down, and Bitcoin barely budged, right? And we were having still coins that are doing 2x's, 3x's, 4x's while we're descending, but Bitcoin barely budging. Instead of taking a sign as like, okay, you need to get the fuck out of the market instead of holding all this shit, I took it as like, Bitcoin sucks. Anyways, long story short, those are the two spectrums of the risk. Now, I'm not going to go through all the other ones. You can watch the previous videos to see, what I would do. I have even laid out, and my plan really hasn't changed much, right? There's a few new coins, but overall, the plan hasn't changed. The point is, it's time to be patient and just wait, right? There's not much I can make more videos about. I'm in myself in the market about once a month. Am I scrolling Twitter from time to time? Yes. Looking at some stuff, retweeting them, following them, retweeting some AI stuff, keeping them saving them to my feed, so to speak, so I can come back to it later. Yes, that's what I do. Other than YouTube, it's the only social media platform I use. Yes. But am I going through and analyzing like what to buy and stuff like that? No, not at all. Right? It's time to chill back out and just, that's it, right? Wait until the leaders who have made it multiple times in the past come out and start to say, hey guys, yeah, now seems like it's not a bad time, right? Most people won't have like strong conviction. That's why you got to know them over time. How did they act last time? How were they bullish? How did they show their conviction last time? Because that's how you can analyze. They're going to probably be similar, right? Humans are similar in that way. They're not going to come out and be like, all right, this is the bottom, absolute, go all in. Nobody's going to say that to you, right? But some of these leaders who are very, very conservative, Ben, for example, super conservative, so, to the point where he kind of pisses me off, to be honest. I'm just like, fuck, why do I even watch this guy? All he says is that, it's not a good time. All he says is not a good time. Like basically every time I see him, he's just saying it's not a good time, and that's why I watch him. It's basically right. It almost kind of like makes you upset, but there's a reason why they're like that. They've gone through the thing multiple times, and they haven't lost their money. Like they have lost their money the first time, right? Ben, for example, in 2014, then he hasn't in this bear cycle. He hasn't for sure, and I lost it already 3 times. So what did I just talk about all this time? I don't even know, man. What? Summarizing it, waiting, being patient, know yourself, know who you are, know the person you have been throughout your life, and put that, write your qualities and just put it right next to the qualities you think has to make it in crypto. Just look at it by itself. Like, is this who I am? Have I ever shown this kind of skill set? And if it's like completely opposite, rethink the strategy maybe. Right? Would you rather make sure some part of your portfolio, at least a percentage of your portfolio, is in aligned with the way you already work, and then put the higher risk stuff on the part that is likely to not work? if you're following me, right? Probably that's how I would eventually play it. I'm probably gonna have in the end a pretty good percentage of the portfolio to just have in Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Probably around half. If you have to like gun to my head right now, make your portfolio right now in 30 seconds, Shipka. That's all you got. Oh, scared. Half of the portfolio, Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Just 50-50. And probably the other half broken down into the top layer ones that are still having activity and able to make it, including Solana. And that would be it. That's it. That's basically how I would go about it. Would I throw in some of them to be infrastructure like Arweave and stuff? Yes, sure. I already talked about all those coins. But other than that, not much would change. That would be my gun to head portfolio build at the moment right now as I'm sitting here, right? And as time passes, when the time is right, when that time comes to happen, I'm going to get more into accumulation of the primary portfolio, which is the bottom 50%, and then slowly averaging into the higher risk ones as time passes. One second, I'm going to rub my eyes, guys. Oh shit, that feels really good though. Oh, fuck. All right, so how many minutes am I in? 30 minutes. I think I have more rant in me, so let's keep going. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the economy. Because as I mentioned, that one of the things that I have a goal about is to increase my cash flow. A little disappointed in myself, honestly. I don't know how to put it, but how like wouldn't use the word lazy. I don't think that's fair to myself. But I would say like I've somehow psyched myself up to just not be so psyched anymore. Like ultimate psyched, like super hyped in crypto is obviously a bull run, right? Like even memories of the bull run of how it felt like day to day, it feels like a dream in a bear market, right? It's like that rush of every day where there's just like feels like there's infinite opportunity to make just crazy amounts of money, or at least it feels like that, right? Not, as we know clearly, not everybody does, and most people who even do lose it all. But the feeling is undeniable day to day in the bull market. Now that's crypto. The reason why I like business, this is my absolute favorite thing about business, is that as long as you have health, right? As long as you have basic health, in business, generally, for most of the time, that excitement is constantly there. Not like a bull market, not even close. Bull market is like, it's like a runner's high. Comparing bull market is like being on drugs and ecstasy, right? But the business high is like the runner's high, but it's constant, right? Every day you wake up and you have that excitement. Oh, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Oh, after I hire this person, this process is gonna work. That kind of excitement, I kind of psyched myself and lost it a little bit. Now, part of me is blaming it on external factors like the economy and stuff, which I'll get into in a second. But currently, as I stand in making money, what's happening right now is I'm really comparing how it was pre-COVID, and really even like the first 1 or 2 years in COVID, right? I run an agency, as you guys know. I sell marketing packages to contractors and roofers and stuff like that. And in the past, compared to right now, it was relatively a lot easier to sell them. And because the economy is not good, and if you don't know how, like I'll give you an example how like the chain reaction works. Like, what is a recession, right? We're in one right now. A lot of times, like I don't even know. Before a recession, I didn't know what a recession was. I just knew the term. Oh, economy, like bad, and something like no good. Yeah, businesses suffer, and that I don't know why even. Well, now that I'm in a recession, I'm like, oh fuck, okay, like it's fucking clear. Like, okay, this is why it's hard. Normally, I sell to a guy, a contractor who drills shit on a roof. Now, the guy can drill stuff on a roof, but he's not that great at knowing how to make himself show up online to get the people who's looking for the guy to come fix their roof. So out comes my Indian Bangladeshi ass who is like, hey, I can do some stuff on your website and fix a few things, and you will probably get a little bit better results. And then I do, and over time I got better at it, and I'm like, oh, well, behold, you get better results. Okay, now since I can do it better than him, at least, I can charge him some money for it, right? Hey, Mr. So-and-so guy, can you pay me $1,000 per month? I'll do this typey stuff. You give me this money, and you will make, I promise, more than $1,000. And most of the time, they do. They do actually a lot better than that. However, what happens in a recession is that that guy who has to sell the roofs has to get that customer, right? Which I can still get. My work is the same, right? Okay, that's fine then. So what is the difference? Well, the customer, when they buy the roof, normally the offer they get for the roof is, hey, it's zero down. Mr. Customer, you get a beautiful addition to your house. You don't pay anything today, and it's just $99 per month from here on. Right? Just $99, and that's it. That's all you gotta worry about. It'll be paid off in years, and who knows, blah, blah, blah. That's it. And they're like, all right, fine, yeah, let's do it. I need it. It's leaking. My child is like having trouble. I'm not gonna have water coming down my house. $99 per month, whatever. I got many things that are $99. I got Netflix, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll do it. This is how it is normally. Now that when the economy is bad, interest rates are high, that zero down becomes a deductible and becomes like a couple $1,000s, right? The whole thing that says $15,000, you gotta spend like $1,000, $2,000 upfront, cash today, okay? And then you know that $99 you have to pay monthly after that? Well, how about that's like $300 per month now? $300 to $500 per month. Okay, I mean, that's a far less, that's way harder to sell, wouldn't you agree? Would you pay $99 from next month for something that you kind of want, need, and should have? It's a $100 per month problem and you want to treat it as such? Or pay $2,000 out of cash right now and pay a couple $100s per month. Oh, and by the way, that couple $100s per month you pay, a good percentage of it is not paying the principal, it's just paying the interest rates, right? You're just kind of like just lingering this payment on and on. How do you feel about that? Well, then they sell less. That's what happens. Those guys, right? That the roofer guy sells less. He has to go the same amount of appointments, but he just closes less. He has to be a better salesman, even. You could go as far as to say, to get the same deals. All right. What then happens to me then? Well, if he sells less, even if I'm doing my job and he shows up higher, he has less money to give. When he has less money to give, he's looking at all the other expenses he has in his business more with a magnifying glass. All right, this thing, GoDaddy charged me $10 a year. All right, this thing is my answering service. They charge me $300 a week to answer on my phones and stuff. That's pretty important. This thing that, whatever, he's going down. And then he sees me on the balance sheet and he's like, fuck, this guy's taking $2,000 every month. What is he really doing? He only sends me a report like once a month, and then every time I ask for him for like, what else is going on? Do I really need him? How about I let him go at least for a little bit and see how it goes? And then it becomes harder on the business. Now, all that being said, if I'm being absolutely 100% honest, guys, we are still in America. And the only excuse I do allow myself to give, which is 100%, is very difficult for me, and is really my hardest challenge in life, is my health. Something that I don't want to talk about in this channel much at all. But other than that, really, even in this economy, it's not that hard to make money, right? If you have to work a lot harder, that is true. You have to convince them way harder. And then once you convince them, you have to, especially if you're new in business, you have to like kiss ass a bit more, right? There's nicer ways I can put it, but you have to like hold their hands a bit more. Hey, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna, keep communication with you week to week, not even month to month. Everybody's gotta be comfort. And the way I know this is because I've been doing it for some time now. I'm no longer new. I've been doing this like half a decade. And a lot of the clients I've had since the beginning, right? Very beginning where I started, I know how they are. I swear one of our clients pays like 7K per month. And I swear to God, this guy talks to me like once a year. Like literally, like every time around Christmas, holidays, he likes to make one plan on how the year's gonna go. He ends the call always inviting me to his place, which I never go, and I always say I will, which one day I hope I do because I feel guilty at this point. And having a couple clients like that really help, as you can imagine, right? Not all of them pay you 7 grand per month, but even if they pay 2, 3, 4 grand, whatever, and you have a couple of those guys that are just very consistent, good clients year after year, and they never go, and they're just happy. And like I said before, it puts a layer of comfort over all the fuck ups that we make in life financially. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So even those guys who never bug me get anxious, right? These guys even talk once a month now. Hey Shib, we're having this issue here, hey, by the way, can you check the calls where they're coming from? Are they good or not? Hey Shib, the calendar is some issues here, like, it's not syncing properly when the leads come in. It's just you're hearing from them more. Now, yes, they're talking about these little things, which if you're new in business, you just think that, oh yeah, their calendar problem, fix that. But when you've been doing this for some time, you see the bigger picture across your client base. You're like, overall, the number of requests and uncertainty, I can feel their fear is higher. And these are clients that have been calm for years. So if they are anxious, how is it going to be when you get a new guy and you're getting him to pay you $2,000, $3,000 per month, right? It's just more. You just need to do more. That's it. That's the simplest way I can put it. What's a recession? How does it affect your business? Well, are you a good salesman? You got to be a better salesman. Are you good at managing people? You got to be better at managing people. Are you good at building products? Your product better be better to take people's money. That's what a recession is. And part of me, this is where I was saying, I don't think I'm going to use the word lazy, but I'm psyching myself out and being like, you know what? Got all right money coming in. I lost basically all my money in the bear market. Like, do I really have to go against the grain right now? Like, can we just take a breather and just be like, fuck all, and play some games? That's what I've been doing. In fact, I got really good. The 2 people watch my channel, if you play League of Legends, message me. I'm getting pretty fucking good at League of Legends, or so I think. I'm not ranked, but like I keep thinking, should I go play in ranked? I'm at that point, but I don't want to, because if I get ranked, then I'm basically signing up for extreme addiction, because then I'm tracking where I fucking rank, right? So I'm not ranked, but I'm below that, where I'm like crushing a lot of the games, and I'm the best player. Like I carry the entire team, right? For a lot of the games, like over half the games, I carry the entire team. Anyways, that's what I've kind of been doing a little bit, is playing a lot of games and just chilling back. Not because I don't want to make money. I fucking want to make money like hell, but I'm just like, based on the previous experiences and the blow I took and all this stuff I'm stacking, and we're in a recession, and me knowing that it's against the grain, I could kind of just hold on to the clients I have right now and do fine. Or I can fight against the grain with all my might, and I'm sure I'll figure it out and I can sell and still get clients, but it's not gonna be flow like water. Like, all right, then what am I gonna do? We're 44 minutes. Why don't we just go for an hour, right? Why don't we? Saturday morning, I don't have anybody to talk to, not really much, no friends. Why not, right? So what am I gonna do? So one thing that has been really enticing me last couple of weeks is a partnership. So far I've been kind of against partners. In my philosophy, I've been kind of like done with partners, because not early on, it took me a while to learn this lesson, but I learned again, one of the core things I learned about myself in business is that I'm very bad at trust and managing people. In fact, the first round of me trying to hire people for my business was just trying to me convince like my close friends to come work, right? Instead of me going and figuring out who's going to be the skill set and how are the ways to hire the people that need to do the job that need to be get done. That's how like I was so like had issues with personal issues. Like really like this is what it comes down to a lot of times. You see you have like personal issues that you bring to your business. You don't really have really business problems. It's like pretty much 90% of the biggest business problem is 100% who you are and personal and limiting beliefs you have, and you just carry it right to your business. Literally, I was trying to force a hippie guy that smokes weed all day and lives literally like off the grid, like grows his own plants and stuff. And I was trying to make him a salesman for like 2 months straight. Guy absolutely hated it, and he was like my best friend in high school, and it was a shithole. The point is, the reason I'm sharing that is because since I learned that, it took me a while, but like, okay, dude, like, okay, this is not gonna work. You need to like man up and find out how to find people from the economy, like every other business does, right? Not gonna go beg all your best friends when it's not even a fit. And once I figured that, what I kind of did is toss it to the side. Any kind of higher role, right? Like right now we have account managers, and God knows, like I don't want to even admit how hard it was for me to figure this out. And like managing is extremely difficult to me. It's just not my skill set. Like I just can't manage things. Very disorganized, um, chaotic. I drop the ball all the time, and I make up for a lot of those mistakes by being good at sales, being like the intensity I have when I do work, all this kind of like extreme work ethic type stuff that makes up for these things. But so far, for years, I've let that go. Basically, long story short, right? I have hired some account managers. That was the extent of it. Other than that, any kind of higher role, salespeople, somebody who can manage the account managers, these kind of roles I never brought in because I realized mid-ish, within a couple of years into the business, I'm like, this is just not something I can do. How does this tie into what I was going to tell about what I'm excited about? To bring it full circle, how this ties in is because only recently, based on what I just said, all this stuff, stack against the grain, don't want to go hard, work so hard at a time when it's not fucking really the easiest time, blah, blah, blah. What I'm basically figuring out is that, okay, maybe agency is not the best way for me to scale this, right? Maybe this thing is good around whatever, 50 to 100K per month, in that range. But getting this thing to, I don't know, a couple 100,000 per month, 500,000 per month, it's going to need, quite honestly, and I'm not like ashamed to admit this, it's just a far better person. Not even the word entrepreneur. It's gonna need a person who can let go. Who can just let go. They can let go of trust. A lot of times to bring really good people, you gotta have processes that just lets them evolve. Right? If you're kind of like a micromanager, you gotta step in and I gotta have control. These are personal issues you have, and it's easier said than done. I can make it sound like it because I know myself and I can make fun of myself, right? But in practice, day to day, it's kind of like who I am, and it's very hard to overcome those things. So what I'm thinking is to get a partner who can do those things, right? It's hard to find people who can do those because then you have to be a leader, right? It starts as like first learn to sell, then learn to manage, which I'm barely able to do, right? It like took me like literally years to be able to just manage certain parts of the business. So not my skill set. And then the third one is leader. Leader is like, it's a big word. Like, if you can ever call yourself a leader, that is one valuable thing to be. It's like a woman being able to call them beautiful. You know how beautiful you can't just say from being pretty? It's like who you are. They really have to be a soul that has light. that's what it is for a man. It's a leader, beautiful and leader for a man, right? So since I know I don't have that in me, and can I become that? I'm not saying I can't become that, right? I mean, at one point not too long ago, like looked like the story is gonna be just like, hey, Shib is a guy who made like $2-3 million and then pretty much died. Not to go down that road, but pretty much that's good. That was the story. And right now it's like didn't die, lost all the money, but can now make, come back, make a return, and for in the next 10 years evolve as a person. Let's say I die in my 40s. Who knows? You can't tell with chronic health conditions. I'm not sure. But let's say I was to die 10 years from now. Epic story would be came back, made 10 million. Just a figure out there, right? If I made 2-3 million the first run, I can't say it's a historic thing if I make that same amount back again. Just my personal little metrics I use, right? I think it should be like 2, 3, 5x whatever I made this run over the next 10 years. Okay? Who knows? That's like some figures you can put out. That's like, like numbers you can put in your fucking little journal. But really the fundamental thing is who you become. And in that, we're 50 minutes. I mean, I'm going like heavy, deep rant. I mean, I'll be surprised anybody can fucking put up with this shit. But I'm giving you my thought process and how I'm going about like deciding big decisions in life. Okay? So just bear with it if you have bared with it all this time. So if that's really what it is, who you become, then why not? Wouldn't it be so great to have somebody who you can have side by side with you now that you have the lessons to back all of that up and you understand and you value a partner so much, right? Because earlier on, if you partner up, it's like, yeah, we can just partner real quick. Whoever it is, fucking let's go quickly, let's fucking make some money. It's not like that anymore, right? I'm older now. I'm in my 30s. It's more like, all right, this is the type of person I am. Wouldn't it be great if I can partner with a leader who has experience building something that is by great people, that they let people flourish, that it's not micromanaged, right? It's not just the structure of how they did things in their life. It's just fundamentally different than how I did mine. It has way more kingsmanship, if you will. All right. That thing gives me a lot of excitement, that idea, right? Because I know with somebody like that, and if I was to hold my side of the bargain, which would be something like probably similar to what I already do, right? Whatever we sell could be different, right? I don't know if it's a marketing package. It could be right now what it's looking at. The partner I have in mind as I'm saying these things is actually a client. So it's a guy who actually like just a roofing company, but he's a really good entrepreneur and he's a really good leader, a good person, very open, very honest, etc., etc. Has a lot of qualities that I really admire, and I've known him for some time, and he can execute and he can deliver. Right on top of it, he's not just a fucking good person, but he can fucking deliver. He's a high performer, and then I'm thinking that okay, if I was to partner up and do a service for once, right? Every marketing motherfucker out there, whenever they start doing this kind of marketing business, they're selling SEO, selling marketing services. There's every single 100% of the time that comes to a point where they always feel like, man, I'm sick of this shit. These guys don't value me. If I was just doing their business, I could blow this shit up. And many people do. Many people, not many people do blow it up. I'm saying many people attempt at starting, like if let's say they're marketing for plumbers, they start a plumbing company. If they're marketing for roofers, they start a roofing company or try to get more involved at owning a roofing company or something. Many people give a shot at that and then they realize it's not that easy. Go figure, right? Grass is always greener on the other side. But having that all said, what I'm thinking right now is if I don't want to go against the grain with this whole marketing thing right now, what if I just partner with somebody who can have that higher funnel level, who can take things from, let's say 40, 50K per month type of business and then add another zero to it, like, have that scale, because really to bring that scale, you need higher level people. Really key secret there is like, you need to be able to lead a team that will follow you into doing your endeavor, and they with all their other options that they have, right? High level people, you can't just give them a salary and then that's it. They gotta like what they do. They gotta be motivated. They gotta perform at a high caliber. They're competing head on against other competitors. Blah blah blah. They gotta be paid really well. And that kind of person is gonna. They need a good leader. Long story short. So I got time. Like I said in the story of my life, if I'm gonna become that person eventually, let's say in the next decade, if my health allows me to hit 40s one day to live the tale, wouldn't it be great at a time like this if I could just partner with somebody and see how he functions side by side and get a front row seat at how he does things, whether it be we start a roofing company or a solar company. That's what I'm actually thinking now, because I think solar is the new thing within this roofing kind of space that a lot of people like, and a lot of it's like a lot of America is going to turn into solar, blah blah blah. You know, solar is a good industry, basically, right? It's like it's kind of like not the beginning, but it's like the end of the beginning. So it's still a lot of room for growth left over the next decade or so or more. And I think it'll be much better. And it goes hand in hand with the roofing, which we worked a lot of experience with and doing marketing. So the partnership could be a lot of it like marketing, and slightly I'm stepping in sales a little bit on it, and his one is like leadership and growth and scale and the team to deliver all that work and stuff, and maybe also step in the sales a little bit. Like if it's a Venn diagram, it's like I'm in the marketing side, that's my main thing, and then he's on the team and hiring and scaling and delivering the installations for the solar and stuff. And then the middle part of the diagram is like sales, right, where we both bring in our expertise a little bit, whatnot, and make that system work properly. But the idea would be either of us both would still have our first business, right? Marketing agency for me, him, his roofing company. And then we start something on the side where we spend not that much time, but we both have cash flow, right? So it's not like nothing. I'm probably gonna spend, I don't know, at least like $3,000 to $5,000 a month in this business, and the idea would be like just putting the things in place and getting it to work, right? Instead of brute forcing like cold calling like I did with the agency in the beginning, this would be actually done with marketing properly, like marketing. So we get leads, okay? With the leads, we have salespeople that close the deals. Eventually, starting it will be probably him and I, and have to like make it work. But pretty soon we can get up people to sell deals, and once the sales deals are done, he can manage pretty much the delivery side is all him. Like I can't even touch that shit. Like, I have no idea what the fuck, like what's the difference between anything. Like I can just say the words roof, solar, like that's it. So that's gonna be on his side. This is what I have in mind, and I think I should just go for it. We're talking, we're in the already brought it up a few times, had one meeting, and I'm thinking about it, mulling it over. He's too. We're taking our time and seeing how it works. We're taking it slow because we both have our own things still, but we're kind of seeing how that works. And I think like in this economy, for me personally, this could be the direction that makes sense right now. Not only is it not a lot of work, because it's not a lot of brute force stuff, it's direct to consumer. There's some lessons to be learned directly from my partner that has qualities that are very valuable and can take years, if not lifetime, to master or become. And he has them already as a part of himself. It's in his nervous system, and I can learn from it how to become a leader. And if that fast tracks my career, even by a couple of years, then I'll be on track to become an entry level leader in my mid 30s or late 30s or something. That would still be a great outcome. So 2 minutes. There you go, guys. That's what it looks like. Got the figures and the money you want to make, along with the qualities and who you want to become. Juggling with investing and getting capital appreciation, alongside having a service that you can deliver, that you can actually provide value to the economy, all tied in one video. Peace.